on Billy Joe Saunders' part, the guy genuinely hates me, which I happen to love because I know that he's so emotional that he's going to be making mistakes in the fight, and I will capitalize on those mistakes.
Do you think that's what's going to be the key here, that he's too emotionally involved in trying to beat you?
I think that will be a key, and the other key will be me, just being too much for him in every aspect of boxing: strength, speed, skills, smarts. I'm gonna do everything and that he's never seen before, and he's gonna be overwhelmed, and I will break as well.
Your dad obviously knows all about rivalries within boxing, perhaps the greatest one we've ever seen in Britain. What advice have you taken in terms of dealing with such a big rivalry in the ring?
Keep your emotions out of it. Keep focused on the job at hand. Don't listen to what everybody's saying, all the media and even the fans and the haters. That's all good, but at the end of the day, you have a job to do in the gym and a job to do on the night, and that is the only thing you should be focusing on.
Finally, for me, you mentioned in the gym there, how has it all gone now? We're just about 2 weeks out. How's it all going?
Perfectly. I'd be ready to fight tomorrow if I had to. I've had a great training camp, and everything's on track.
You've mentioned some of the sparring partners you've had in the past. You've been to Mayweather's gym, you've sparred Carl Froch. How is sparring those type of opponents great for a young fighter like yourself?
You can't, experience like that is priceless, and you learn so much from just training and watching these guys train, let alone sparring with them. So I've picked up so many things, that you guys have seen in my 18 professional fights, and that you're going to continue to see all the way throughout my career. These little tricks and tips. You can't buy that type of experience. So it's all rubbed off on me, and it really works.
And you've kept busy this year. You fought a couple of weeks ago up in Liverpool. Fight week not far away. What will you be doing between now and fight night? Is it going to slow down a little bit, or do you keep up that intensity?
You keep the intensity going. There are no breaks. Obviously, maybe at the end of the week, the week before the fight, a few days before, you kind of you taper things down. But I'm sparring. I've got a hard sparring session today, and that will keep going on, until close to the fight.
And I heard you two on a TalkSport a couple of weeks ago, and Billy Joe mentioned a bet, 100 grand. Is that something you're willing to take part in?
I told him, he said he would get his lawyers to contact my lawyers and my management team so we could put the bet in place. I said I'd love to be a part of that. And so far we've heard nothing from him. So as I said, as I've been saying since he made that statement, it's a publicity stunt. He's not that confident in himself. He was just saying it to try and get a reaction out of me and to try and big himself up in the public eye. But he knows he's going to lose.
If that bet does come to fruition, it was a charity bet. What charity would you donate the money to?
Children's charity. Anything. Once he's come forward, then we'll sort all that stuff out. But I genuinely don't think that anything's going to happen with that.
And you two haven't come face to face yet at press conference. What is that fight week going to be like when you've got the press conferences and you've got the weigh-in, when you two finally come face to face?
I'm looking forward to looking into his eyes and seeing what I know will be there, and that's fear.
And in terms of your dad has mentioned it, you want to bring big-time boxing to Brighton. In terms of winning these titles and potentially winning world titles, I mean, could you see yourself at Brighton Stadium in front of a massive crowd?
That's definitely a dream of mine, to fight at the Brighton Football Stadium. Obviously my father said, bring the boxing capital to Brighton. Really, it's England, and it doesn't matter where it would be. As long as it's in Britain, we'd be happy. But yeah, definitely a future venue would be Brighton Stadium.
And to the pair of you, what's your prediction for fight night? Is it going to be a knockout and a round?
I'm going to stop him within 12 rounds. I don't pick rounds. I never say when I will stop an opponent, but I know for a fact he won't last 12 rounds with me.
Well, I say, I would like to actually ask the referees to be mindful of Billy Joe Saunders. Just be mindful, because maybe I'm speaking sense in what I say when I say that this man is a very dangerous young man in the ring.
Thank you so much.
Chris, can I just ask you, have you noticed a difference in Christopher's training this time around, given the profile of the
Yes,
fight?
I have noticed a difference. Usually he gets edgy a week before. He was edgy about 10 days ago. So he's been edgy 3 weeks before. So this young man, I believe, is in a dangerous situation. And so when I say to the referees that I want them to be mindful of Billy Joe Saunders, because ultimately it is a sport, it isn't personal, but there's only a referee. He's the arbitrator, it's his judgment. And I say that these referees have to be mindful of him because he's in danger, truly.
Edgy in what way? In being vicious and spiteful? Is that what you mean by edgy?
Short.
Right.
Usually he's very measured, but he's got a little bit short. It's just something that I can pick up. So him being edgy 3 weeks before doesn't spell a good night for Billy Joe Saunders, in my view.
Wonderful. Thanks so much
Fantastic.
for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so